Yeah, like
Am I not? Am I like interesting? And that's why are we friends? I'm not. I'm not like that.
you're friends through association. It's,
Oh,
you stuck
nice.
you dated my buddy, so
Oh,
I thought when that ended that the friendship would end, but for some reason you stuck through.
I'm
Congrats.
still trying to understand why I'm here. What benefit I? All right,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's okay.
It's kind of grim.
Honest to God, I was gonna say after you told me that I was one of the people you talked to about your mom. I remember that coffee date. I don't know why, but it just like stands out in my memory,
That's what
ingrained.
you drew. That's where you drew the picture of me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the reason why I reached out to you?
Why?
Because you and Dan had a thing, and Dan was in Korea, and I was just like, and
Aww.
so I know like typically when like a couple breaks up, that the you break up with the friend as well, and so it's like, all right, well, this I can talk to this, and this will not get back to the group. No one's gonna talk to V, and so I was like, all right, well, that's my connection to Dan, and this won't get back to the group that my mom
Aww.
died, and so that's why I think I'm not sure if we went for coffee, then I called you after, and that's when I told you like why I was like so upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the coffee thing first, and then it was like, all right, I'll call you when I get home.
Aw, I'm just like so touched because it's like next best thing to your best friend. I'm honored, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's I thought you were cut out of the group. I didn't know that I'd continue talking to you, but I thought that I was like that was my way out. I was like, all right, I have someone that's
I
just
didn't even know until now that I was cut from the group. So that's good to know. I thought I cut myself out, so that's mixed feelings about that right now, but
well, yeah,
whatever.
the ideas are right.
Yeah.
You break up with the person you break up with their friends. So that was my whole thought
Yeah.
process. Yeah,
Apparently not in our case.
yeah, very oddly.
Anyway, yeah, this is an odd little trio we have going on here. It's
Mm-hmm.
all good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that picture should be the cover art for the podcast with the tape.
Sumo? What, the tape?
The picture of me with the
Oh,
tape over my mouth.
sorry. I'm thinking of one of you and Dan in the
In the
sumo
sumo suits. Yes.
I vote that one. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I have it. I think I sent it to you. I think I did. Anyway. What are we talking about though? Like, what is this podcast?
I think we talked about dating. I think we'll just call it the Free Ball Podcast. We'll call it. We need. What are we gonna call this? Therapy sessions. I think so.
Actually, that is probably, yeah, the Shane and Vee therapy sessions.
Okay, so yeah, let's introduce it that way. Then this will be a part of the placeholder podcast. Just if you don't have a name, but this will be just the Shane and Vee therapy sessions. Okay, sounds good.
We need to make me more dateable.
Maybe we need to. Yeah, we'll call this therapy sessions, and I think we might just leave them raw.
Yeah. We'll
stitch them together.
Edit.
Yeah, we'll stitch
okay,
them
good.
together. Okay.
There's some stuff we shouldn't have in there.
Yeah, like you and Dan.
Everything about Dan. You cannot.
I think I'll have its own podcast of the Dan and Vee dating history podcast.
Honestly, that might be. You know what you should do?
Talk you the same should thing have. With Dan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then make one. And that would be like the ending. That would actually be kind of poetic and funny because nobody knows, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should do that actually.
Okay.
And then I can fucking get called out on my shit because I think I deserve it. Honestly,
I
feel stupid talking with you two.
And for our listeners, something happened with Dan and me. So high fives, multiple high fives. Dan, get prop up Dan.
Is that going to get me more suitors?
I think so. Be like you. I'll pass. It might make you like unsuited for any male.
So yeah, there goes your whole thing about the numbers and that doesn't matter. It's like obviously it does then.
No, how does one follow up to a Dan?
You said ew. You said ew.
I said you.
Ew, I'm not hitting that. Dan hit
No.
that.
Well, that's because we're bros. But if I didn't know him, I'd be like, I don't know where I'm going with this.
What? Like, I feel like you're saying you to me, like you to her because she slept with Dan.
That's the whole point.
I don't think it exists after what you told me in this whole podcast.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
I'm looking for the long term.
You're looking for the long term, but isn't
Yeah.
dating for the long term? It's kind of like the conundrum for women. It's once you're in your mid-30s, it's kind of like you're past it, but if you're in your early 20s, it's too young. So it's like there's a sweet spot there.
Yeah. According to society.
Well, it's like men get older, but women's bodies betray them, though, right?
Well, because the big thing is like, yeah, especially if they want children, you only have a certain, I think it's closer to 35 now.
Yeah. There's like a window where you get like a healthy baby, and then there's a period where it doesn't work anymore.
Well, 30 to 35 is like kind of the ending window, just because, I don't know, they say that after that there's higher risk of issues like birth defects or conditions. But I actually know a few people who had later, and sometimes their first one, because that's another one they say if it's your second you might be okay later, but it might not be super true. But I don't know, like it's that, like, because even me, I am like, it's like I know I'm going to get wrinkles. They are there, they're staying, but it's this, you do try to take care of your skin, and actually men do it too. They'll because actually men have those insecurities too of aging just as much as women. I don't know.
My insecurity is just for balding. That's my only insecurity.
Okay, but like that's yours. There's lots of guys who have that.
Yeah,
and
balding sucks. Like
gray hair is a huge one. Guys hate turning gray. A lot of women actually like that salt and pepper look.
I know. I'd kill for a salt and pepper, but my hair is just killing me.
I think maybe the issue across the board is that we all just like, it's all about the looks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's because the visual is how you technically initially get picked from either, right? And it just creates insecurities for both genders.
Well, I think for me as a man, I'm looking for great personality, great energy, and a positive outlook.
See, but those are pretty vague yourself. Personality, what's a good personality? Like, what does that mean to, right? Like, is it common interests, or is it that energy that you're talking about?
No, because I referred to energy. You have to listen.
I know.
Okay. I think
but it's like you can have a negative mind or a positive mind, right?
No, but it needs to fit. You know how certain personality types don't fit. If I could banter with you, if I could joke with you, and if I can teach you something, to me, that's a great personality because you are engaging to be with. That's a good personality. A great personality is someone who could banter with me and teach me things. Right? It's something where there is a mutual exchange and we're kind of riffing. Great energy.
So you're
great
talking about like intelligence and stuff. And
well, they don't need to be intelligent. They just need to be responsive. Is the best way of putting it.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
If I say something, if I tell you a joke and you banter back, right? There's something there. Or if I tell you a joke and you laugh, conveys that she has humor. A great personality is someone who's going to banter with me. So I think that's the exchange there. When I'm looking at energy, I'm looking at women have like an energy that's hard to explain, but kind of breathes life. I think you'll see it here in the podcast. But me and Dan talk, it's very low energy. But if I'm talking to you, the energy picks up. Same thing with Dan. Pick it up with you, right? It's just.
I was secretly thinking, I'm like, I wonder if I have any of these qualities. Not to date you, but I'm just like, do I have a good? And I'm like, there you go.
Why
I filled you up.
I'm such a good person.
Because you're not single, right? You're with somebody.
But I'm kind of hot. What is feeling sexy?
I don't know, because like for me, when I think about feeling sexy, it's like wearing a nice dress. For some guys, I think dressing nice would make them feel sexy, but maybe that's just, I don't know. Like, okay, so when you feel good about yourself, like that's it. You feel handsome, you feel good. Like, what is it?
No, well, I'm a good looking dude, so I'm like, that's no problem
Okay, no,
there.
but like when you like dress up or you get your hair done.
I'm balding.
Guys get those
No.
fades. I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about men in general, but like when you do whatever it is that you do that makes you feel better, what is the feeling? It's not sexy, but it's like if you put on a suit or if you put on um like your best for a date, or I don't know. I'm trying to think what guys do.
But like
Ooh,
getting
okay.
new shoes and a new watch gives me the same feeling as getting a new
Okay,
guitar.
here's a way to put it then. So when you get those shoes and you get that guitar and it makes you feel good on your own, that's confidence. When you have those and it attracts something that you want, like I'd say sexy is only when it's related to the other gender. So when you're attracting women because of what brings you confidence, that would be sexy. But when
Mm.
you are attracting feelings of, because like if I go buy a new pair of shoes, I'm going to be proud of myself because I paid for it. I really wanted it. I achieved that goal. So that's like pride, confidence, right?
Mm.
So then when those shoes, some guy looks down at my feet and looks back in my eyes and smiles, and it's like obvious about the shoes, those shoes are going to make me feel sexy.
What do you feel about all like this new wave of feminism and how that all fits into women's happiness, where you're not given these opportunities to feel sexy or to feel confident? It's all this stuff that kind of takes away from traits that are overtly feminine.
Because I think also too it comes from within. Like I'm not sure I agree that everything is like, okay, a girl doesn't shave her legs but she does her makeup. Like why is that not shaving her legs make her not feminine? You know what I mean? So it's appreciating whatever her unique feminine traits are, or appreciating whatever his unique masculine traits are, and the opposite, right? It's just about appreciating those things in each other. But I don't know, because there are some like, okay, the extreme feminism like thing that's going on. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it because um that's the thing, is it's always like this fight instead of this like problem that you can solve together. Like it's always got to be this issue or this issue. Um and like announcing it like that and doing all that, like it's not going to help your individual situations. You need to deal with your individual, if a woman doesn't want to be feminine, then like you said in that podcast, she's got to find some guy who's feminine. That exists, you know. But that's the catch. Like I don't know, it's hard to say because you don't know what these relationships are like, right? What these women are like, but just because they look masculine doesn't necessarily mean that that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I brought up the look just because that's the best example. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of this push for feminism is to eliminate the binary, to eliminate the poles of masculine and feminine, and just say it's one thing. And that's actually the basis of my concern.
Well, and it could be just because instead of fighting that external masculine, maybe they need to acknowledge the internal. You know what I mean? And notice where their struggles are coming from that. Because I think there's a time and place, and I think it's more about embracing those sides of you when you need to. Because, for example, when my mom was sick with cancer, my dad became her caregiver, and it was out of love. But he definitely had to embrace, and he is a very masculine man, very biker esque masculine. So to see him just take on that role without even thinking twice, like it really made me see things differently and think about things differently. But does that mean that he should just be like that and should have always been like that? I don't necessarily think so, but I think like that is probably one of the things that I admired most about him, was seeing him step up like that. Yeah, I just think there's a time and place for each. Everybody has their own level of each. You need to embrace yourself first.
Which was my whole point exactly, right? That you can't fight nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, like, it's unhealthy to do so. Like, if you were to just say, okay, women can be as feminine as they want, but we'll emasculate men, same thing. It's just
Well,
we
how does
need
that make women any better?
yeah
Yeah,
we
I'm
just we
sorry.
yeah we need that polarity. We need that balance, that exchange of value, that exchange of energy.
Yep.
uh, what is game
Yeah.
to you?
Simp,
I
simp
simp simp
behavior. Yeah, I learned that.
have you read The Game by Neil Strauss?
No, what is this?
It's this guy who was a nerdy writer, and he ended up becoming the world's #1 pickup artist. And
Mhm.
it's a true story. There is an underground society of men who work on strategies to pick up women.
Oh, I know. I've heard of these. Like, there's like YouTube videos,
Yeah, well, this existed
and
before YouTube, though, right? And
I
that's
know
yeah,
I'm gonna have to read that.
I read it after a breakup, and that's why I say I'm one of those people that learned how to be confident by reading books. Was I read that book, and I just got into huge into evolutionary psychology and self development. And
Okay, well, I'm gonna read that book too.
okay, so what does dating mean to you?
I used to think it was like getting to know each other in a going out setting, and kind of the casual before you decide if you want to become a couple. I don't know what. And you?
It's hanging out at a predetermined time, at a predetermined or organized date. That's the going out process, and that's the casual seeing each other before you make decisions about one another.
Mm-hmm.
I think that defines a date. I think dating is when you have found a person that you believe is in the candidacy to spend more of your time with, and you are frequently organizing your hangouts with the intention of it being progressing into long term.
And when is it exclusive?
You've reached enough
Commitment.
comfort with each other. Yeah, you reach enough comfort with each other that you are willing, and you both have compatible goals for the time being, that you can solidify commitment.
What do you think signs and factors of commitment are?
Man, ooh, this is a straight up interview right now. Dang, I'm on the spot.
Just you wait.
Signs and factors of commitment. I think that depends on each person. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
It all depends. Where are these questions coming from?
Oh, like I've been watching that podcast a lot.
Oh,
Just,
well, it's the best way to look at it, right? It's the difference in perspectives that men and women have competing or opposing values, right? Advice that goes out to a man will be shitty advice to give to a woman, and vice versa.
no, absolutely. We're different creatures for sure. I thought we were going to come to a conclusion that maybe we could evolve into something. Yeah, I don't know. Some sort of new age equality. But I'm actually starting to agree with you that that's
Uh,
I guess I'm just concerned about how whatever, who the fuck cares at this point. But my concern is this, how is this actually going to evolve with the, downfall of marriage and religion, just because that was the predominant factor to keeping us committed to each other. So,
well,
yeah.
how that evolves is that you sustain the pair bond. Simple and plain.
Yeah, by letting your dude go out and get his rocks off with some other woman, apparently.
No, no, absolutely not. There, you would have feminine strategies and the feminine energy that you tap into to make the man feel loved and supported, and the man would have masculine strategies and masculine energies that he can have to share with you that would make you feel cared for and safe.
And what, just consistently doing that for each other is what's going to keep a man with you, committed, only you, never stray, really.
In an overly simplified term, yes. So
Hmm.
should women shit test their men? Yes. However, the problem with, having that comfort stuff is that eventually it becomes a criticism on them as a person rather than as them as the masculine. So that's the challenge that we're facing in today's society, is that we are living longer, we are adapting more to our environments. We're not surviving our environments are adapting to us. We have rules and things. So the pair bond of this man has to keep me alive and shelter me from the elements has been largely removed because we have houses, we have air conditioning, we have protection from animals, we have weapons. So stuff like that. So the relationship, because we've changed our environment, has changed, but the underlying principle of how to keep that pair bond going is still feminine feeds masculine, masculine feeds feminine.
Okay, I think a perfect way to end this episode, whatever, because the last question we hadn't talked about is, how can women better support the masculine given all of these things that we've discussed and all of these changes and this evolution or whatever the frick, with the toxic femininity and the sexual liberation for women and all the things that we've gotten that's somewhat demasculated men. What can we do to counter those negative effects and help support our men?
The easiest answer, and it's going to sound really stupid, but if you want to know it, maintain your femininity.
Right. Okay.
Right. A very, or not a very shocking surprise is women become less feminine as they get older. Also, women get less feminine as a relationship continues.
I've seen it.
Also, like, they shit test more.
All right. I saw a really cute meme once that I hope is true or whatever, where it was a gentleman, 3 photos of him in a salon, and it said that the ladies were teaching him how to curl hair because his wife was too old to be able to do it for herself anymore. So he learned so that he could do it for her. Mm-hmm. That's relationship goals, right?
Yeah, he's there. Providing. The woman has a weakness, the man is providing.
So that she can stay feminine. Yeah. Follow my intuition.
Yeah, right. Just be as feminine as possible, and I think that typically works out. And if a man is being masculine as possible, do that. But if you have a masculine energy as a woman, be as masculine as possible and look for the feminine. Yeah, look for the feminine, right? You got to find those polarities, right? And if you're more balanced, find someone who applies the right situation at the right
compliments
time. Yeah, right. I think that's really what it boils down to.
I would agree. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. And where does it come down to? Dan. That's how we end it.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
I'm just flowing through the universe. Whatever fucking happens. But you know what? I'm hearing there ain't no Dan. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Digging me and making me seem like the shittiest person ever. Thank you.
Okay. So you heard it here, folks. Undateable.
Perfect. Because I don't want a bunch of DMs. That's exactly. Okay, yeah, we're going with that.
Yeah. No DMs because we're protecting that space. That's property of Dan, parking only.
There you go. She's taken by Dan.
Again.
Sure. Whatever.
Reunited after so long on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're dating through a podcast. Okay.
Yeah, it's the new thing. It's podcast dating.
I see that.
We're a throuple. Right. I've decided.
Oh Lord.
If you'll have me, we're a throuple.
This is polyamory. See, you even have a girlfriend. You got to make sure she's okay with it. That's the key to polyamory.
As a man, I decide.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, I'll put up there, and I guess I'll leave you to put timestamps and notes, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Sounds good.
Okay, cheers.
See you. Bye.